And hello to all my Aries friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for February 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Aries a storyline spread. It is a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Aries. We're going to be telling multiple different stories, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if spirit is very chatty, different stories for different areas going through different things. Now, I've had people tell me that sometimes multiple stories do and will resonate with them, and if that happens, that's quite okay that it does. But at the end of the day, the storyline spread is all about finding that one story, that home run that is right for you, and that is our job and objective today, and we're going to do such a thing. We're also going to conclude your reading with something very interesting, so I need to tell you about that right now because you need to start thinking about it. And that is called a yes or a no spread. So you got to ask a question, a yes or no question, and Spirit is going to do their best to answer as many questions as possible by the end of your reading in the form of context. So interesting things lie ahead, guys. We're also going to conclude with a runestone that'll tie a nice little bow around this project that we call February 2023. The cards are already shuffled, guys. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to share my table with you and show you what's going on. Here we go. Let's begin. And we are on and recording. What I'm doing now, Aries, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure for personal private readings. So it's just like you're here with me now. Now the storyline spread starts with 5 cards and we expand out from there where we need to go. Need to warn you that this deck does have a tendency to make very large storylines because the facings are usually center and storylines get bracketed off. I'll explain that a little bit as we go. But I also did this for another sign that also used my geometric deck, and you know, after I said this deck makes very long storylines, it made the shortest storyline of all time. So you just never know what you're going to get. Here we go. These are your main 5 cards. Pretty strong start too. They're all upright as well. We do need to keep going from there. We are not over. Still need to keep going. Am I off the screen yet? Nope, not yet. But when I come down here, I probably, well, I'm going to come down there so I don't get cut off. And we're still going, and we're still going, and there we go. There's our stop. And I know that because this gentleman is facing inward, so that brackets us off as a full stop from Spirit. So you can see we got a lot of cards already. It is a very big storyline. Now, let's get the pairings together. First, quick check of inverts. I think we're good there. 5, 6, 7, not enough to matter. That's going to stay just the way it is. So now we got to get pairings. This is all one big story there. I'm going to move this just so I can see it more clearly in a line. So I'm going to move it like this. The order is still the same as how we started. This is going to go here. This is a standalone story, so we're looking at this. We're looking at 4 different stories. 2 of them are pretty large, and they're only going to get larger because this is where my table gets very full. Lots of cards, and I'll have to probably move the camera around because I'm going to get off screen. But let's start with the major arcanas. They each get 2 cards. Got the Sun card here, gets 2. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. That's going to go here anyway, because that's an Angel Oracle card. Every story needs one of those anyway, so that'll work out. And over here, 2 cards. That's a huge story. Holy moly. Okay, that one's pretty squared away there. We got 3 people down here. Holy cow. Let's see if they're people or the energy of. So far, none of them have been people. We're using the energetic definitions today. Oh, there's a person. And what is this person doing right there? I'm talking about another person. Okay, so we got people all over the place. I'm gonna actually make sure that is, okay, that's actually not a person. Energetic there, that's a discard, okay. It turned out to be a big story too. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. Still not done. Pulling cards over on this side. And then, one here, is that a person? No. And that's gonna share a card because we got 2 pips down there. So my table is very full. Just need an Angel Oracle card for every story. Then it's just a matter of showing you on the view here, and it's probably going to be so all over the place it might not make a lot of sense to you, even if you know what you're doing, even if you know how to read this stuff, because we are just all over the place. I'm taking that off the viewfinder just so you can see it better, because I got to go way up here just to show you story 1. Story 1 is huge. And then I guess we're going to go down here to 2. going all the way to the left with clear intentions, moving all the way to the right to the Prince of Swords. Coming up here, this is the only short story. We got short story number 3 here with Comfort going to the right to Ace of Pentacles. And then we got big story number 4, which we will conclude with a nice little message from heaven included there. So let's get to work, guys. Lots to talk about for my great Aries. Aries. The good thing about storylines, too, is they can talk about anything they want, and it looks like they're not just talking about anything they want, but they're talking about everything that they want. So, where did my... there we go. All right, story 1, guys. Let's start at the beginning. Story number 1 is talking about good luck. So if you've had good fortuitous, just things working out in weird ways for you, a little bit of good luck going on, this could very well be you here in story number 1. They show, actually, let me do a discard there. I want to make sure that's not a person, because I do see my extra cards. I do have some extra people that got pulled, and I didn't catch that before. So before I get too ahead of myself, just make sure. So far, none of them are people. Well, this one is. So it's a good thing we checked. Make sure I didn't do that anywhere else. Nope, we're good. So this is not a person. They're talking about the energetic definition of the Princess of Cups, which is my page in other decks. So this is my messenger, my love messenger. So family messages coming later in the month of February, guys. This is later in the month, and it's good news. I know that because it's attached to the Wheel of Fortune. So it's good luck. It's things working out in weird, good ways for your family. Could be your relationship partner as well. Anybody close to your heart can come in with that love corner. So that's what they first talk about. So if you've had some good things coming your way, this is very much could be about you. It's going to be a hard one to piece together because we have a lot of moving parts, but this might be one of those readings areas where you got to come back maybe later in the month to see kind of what story is yours. Maybe you don't know right off the bat. But the next thing we show here is good social health, good emotional health, being in a good emotional place socially, which means with other people. Now, this could be friends, close friends. This could also be seeing family members or talking to them, reacquainting with them or friends that you haven't seen in a while, something like that. We also have, and this is where we get into the Sun card. And the Sun card, this is a beautiful thing to see, guys, because this is the best card in the tarot deck. Wonderful, golden, radiating energy all over this story. There's just such good stuff going on here. They do show that you really need to nurture your mindset a little bit here, a little bit of mental health perhaps, or just being a little easier on yourself mentally. So not letting things stress you out, not letting things get you anxious or getting in your own head too much, because we have this wonderful Sun energy, guys, and it's great to see. They also are telling me the Oracle Angel card is you know what to do. So I don't know what this is that they're saying you know what to do, but they're letting you know that you know. And you know what you need to do or not do. And that is basically trusting yourself. Trust yourself and act accordingly. Trust yourself and act. They do bring in a man in this story, or a male figure. Sometimes this can be a very strong woman, but it's almost always a man. This man is upside down, so this man has been removed from this story in some way, but it's attached to the Sun, so it looks very good. So, I don't know if that's like a man that needs to come back, or a man that is maybe upset with something going on here and, needs to see things differently or something like that. But it's a very good omen since it's attached to the Sun. I'm not worried about it, and hopefully the man isn't so worried about it either, or can get over whatever he's stuck with here. So they do show an upside down man. The final part of this very long story is the Judgment card. So a major decision has been made. You guys have blown the horn on something here, Aries, and decided for February, hey, you know what, I'm going to do blank. And this is going to be a different thing for different Aries, but one of the things is something that you've neglected for a while. So this is good. More than likely it's about health. It can also be financial in the Three of Pentacles, but usually this is more health. It feels more health related to me, at least. Something that you've neglected that needs the attention is getting brought into the surface or into your awareness here in February. And you guys have, a lot of you, like I said, have already decided to go forward with this, whatever this is that has been neglected for a while, paying more attention to it. We have the Empress card inverted. So this is a block of fertility. This is a block of something new where it's not actually being birthed right here in February. And when I say birth, it doesn't just mean, the birth of a child. This is fertile grounds. So, just because you've made this decision, it doesn't mean that you've actually gone forward with what that decision is. So maybe this actually comes to fruition a little bit later or something like that. So it's not coming in on a delay. Not a bad thing, just not here right now, more than likely. So there's story 1, very big story. Let's go down here to story 2, guys. Story 2, we start with Princess of Swords, this is page again in my other decks. It is on a block or inverted, so again, they're talking about late in February, guys. This is timing, and late in February is going to be a big deal because we just talked about the same thing in story 1. So late in February is going to be a huge deal for a lot of my Aries. Now what they show next here is, well, going back to the suit, it's the Suit of Swords, which is the mental cerebral suit. So this is a message in regards to coming through the air in late February. What is a message through the air? Something like a text message, a phone call, even an email. Good time to check those old emails, something like that. Very important correspondence they don't want you to miss, guys. And that is coming in late February, so make sure you're keeping an eye open on that. They bring in the Hermit card. So this is a card about either spending more time alone or being guided towards something here. So you could be doing the guiding, you could be being guided, or this can just be about you doing something alone right here in February. Crystal Clear Intentions is our Oracle Angel card, so this is basically saying, be very clear about everything, what it is you desire, what it is that you want, and that way the universe knows how to build it for you and put it together, and your angel team and everybody involved basically knows what to do there. And then once you've done that, your job is basically to just have faith that it will happen and that it will occur. The next moving part that we have here is King of Pentacles on an invert, but they said not the person. So this is big money more than likely on a block. This is some of my Aries here. If you've been waiting for big money, it might not be here right now. It might take some time to get here. Okay, that's what they show for February. It's a big chunk, and a lot of you want to use this toward business. They do show that a new business or projects, home renovations can come up under the Ace of Wands too here on a block. So this whole thing needs to be delayed. Long story short, it's not going to happen in February, or at least not until late February or something like that. That could be part of the messaging for February as well. And maybe even that message is letting you know that it's going to come late. It's going to come later than you want. So we do have another person coming in here, and it is another king, guys. It is another masculine figure coming in attached to this story. And again, this king is upside down. So why is this king upside down? I'm not sure. But they do show the next thing that he's attached to is inaction with your mind. So a lot of you have not made up your mind about this person, or what you're going to do with this person, or what you guys are going to do together, or some mix and match of that whole energy of what's going on there. And they are both swords, so it's very much decisions up here, cerebral, not actually like pulling the trigger and making something real, but just deciding these things and what you're going to do. And basically by them saying inaction in your mind, they're saying you haven't made up your mind. So there is a difference there in story number 2 between story number 1, but you can see some correlations too. We both had masculine forces pop up that are involved in there, and different moving parts. Very interesting. Let's get into 3, guys. We're chopping right along, considering that they are long stories. This is the short one, though, so we can take a little breath here. The Strength card comes in first. So this is the card about being courageous, being strong. You have all the tools. You're not missing anything here, guys. They bring in action here with money or with health. It's going to be a split audience thing. It could be either way. But we have Ace of Pentacles, which is usually one of the same things except new. So this is new health or new money. And it's they're basically saying the path here is action. So you got to do it to get it. Okay, so it's like you need to move the money to make more money on a return. Or this is like if it's a health related thing, it's like you got to do the work. You got to, do the workout to get the new health. Okay, so this is like a prerequisite, and then the result. Just kind of laying here in potential, and they're saying you're strong enough to do it, you're able to do it, and February is such a good time to do it. If you know what I'm talking about here in regards to your life, I know this message is a little bit more basic, but we are able to really bracket it down to finance or health, at least in this story. So that one is a little bit more specific, at least in the subject matter is concerned. They also bring in the Comfort card for my Oracle Angel card. So they're letting you know that they are with you here, angelically, in your time of need. So anything you're doing here, you got help. You're not working on this alone. You might feel like you are, but behind the scenes, you got your deceased loved ones working for you, your angel team, your spirit guides, the whole bit, guardian angels. So everybody is on board here, and they're saying they're there for you, but you don't even need them to be, because they are there for you. And you got all the tools to move forward with that anyway. So you don't need the help. Now, before we get into story 4, I do need to tell you about the brand new gemstone in the store. Also need to do your moon cycles, because that is going to be pertinent to a lot of the stuff that we talked about here, and big moon cycles in this month. Okay guys, cutting in, here we go with some moon cycle forecast time. We have a huge lunar event going on in February. This is the third, the trifecta. It started in December, January, and now here we are in February. We get the third huge super new moon, but let's talk about that full moon first because that comes in first. It is a micro full moon, which means it's very small in the sky, but you can still use this energy to get anything out of your life that you don't want there anymore, whether it's a person, whether it's something to do with work or a project you just got to wrap up and get out, anything you need to sell or repurpose or even donate. All that stuff much better placed early in February under that full moon. Adversely, we have that huge new super new moon, that brand new moon coming in on February the 20th, and this is the greatest opportunity for a while, guys, until August, to bring in new things into your life. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to attract. The universe does not care. This could be new love you're trying to bring in. You're trying to do something brand new with health. Let's say you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, get a new promotion, or anything in between. Like I said, the universe does not care. Using that manifestation power, though, it's going to be very, very strong. Middle of the month, moving toward late into February. February 20 is the key date there, but any time really bracketing around that is key for that. It's any kind of manifestation stuff, guys. You can really attract powerfully right now, and it's the best time to do it because, like I said, we don't get any big lunar activity until August, so this is kind of the last chance for the last dance. Here we go. So moon cycles are a big deal, and if any of this has confused you, or maybe you prefer just a little graphic aid, a little illustration, I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet, and it is always on my website, and it is always free. I have moved what page it's on, though. I'm now doing a page about stuff that I'm talking about page. So things that we're talking about, that's where you can find it, parked at the very top. That is your moon cycle forecast cheat sheet. Got to tell you about new things coming into the shop too. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter because my newsletter people get a couple free things every single year just by being signed up for it. I do giveaways on Facebook, and we want to follow both of those for sure. But let's talk about that new product in the shop. Every month I unveil a brand new product into the Scott Sagent shop on the website, and this is the month that we are doing another gemstone, and it's going to be tree agate. And this is a wonderful gemstone for February because it brings and attracts love into all of the chakras. It's not just one or two of them. It can bring it into all of them at the same time. Very calm stone too. It works very slowly, but its lasting effects are long. It's basically doing the turtle energy. Slow and steady wins the race, and therefore it is not a strong vibration stone. It is very easy to work with, very calm, very mellow. Even if you've never had a gemstone before or don't work with gemstones, tree agate is a wonderful one for you. And I just love the green and the white, to the fact where I'm showing you pictures here on the screen. I really am giving you two different lighting options here just so you can see it under different lighting because it is very beautiful. I love how the green and the white swirls together. It reminds me when I'm in an airplane looking down on Mother Earth, the green and the trees, fade into just colors eventually, and the green and the white together. Actually, the more green the gemstone is, the more strong it is, and the more white the tree agate is, kind of the more mellow energy it is. So those are both available on the website. Well, I say both because it's available in small and in large. So we got two different sizes of tree agates available now. We got giveaways going on at the same time. We're still giving away the charm gemstone, and that is a random one, but that I'm flashing a picture of that on the screen too. That comes with every purchase of tree agate or even the tiger's eye from last month. Any gemstone purchase comes with that, and also a little nylon case. You get to choose the color of that. So great stuff on the website every single month. New things, guys. So let's get back to your reading right now. Okay, Aries, back with story number 4, the other long story, very, very long story. If you are an Aries that has been working on doing something with the home, doing repairs, doing renovations, or your home just really needs the energy, this could very well be you here in story number 4, because that's what they bring in first. That is the target, that is the attachment piece, and what comes right behind that is messaging in regards to work that comes later in February. If you noticed, we got 3 out of the 4 stories that talk about late February. It doesn't mean that the beginning part of February is not important for my Aries. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that eyes open second half. Okay, second half is going to be huge, guys. And second half, that is our new moon energy too. So bringing new things in for Aries is going to be huge. And of course, the new moon is the big one, like we just discussed. So perfect. It's just a perfect alignment for my Aries to do great things in February. So we have home renovations, working on the home, or even home health for some people. And we have messaging for work coming in later in the month. And the work corner is a big place too. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship for most people, the JOB. Okay, so that is what they're talking about. The message about that is later in February. They do show that you're getting very interested in things. So the boredom is going away. You're getting interested in something or someone. It is a cup, so it could be a love type of deal, or it could be something different. It could just be a home project. Maybe something like that really gets you going. Every different strokes for different folks. The next thing they show here is there's bad credit involved here, so be careful of moving money in regards into this, especially if you're putting money into the home. Make sure you're making sound financial decisions. If you're getting certain jobs done, make sure you get enough quotes. Make sure you're not taking just the cheapest quote and getting the cheapest job done, but also you want to save some money too. So that's why they always kind of say, take the middle quote, something like that. So we have bad credit going on there. So don't go into debt. Don't take out credit cards for this reason. Don't go draining your IRAs and 401ks to put it into the home. Not the time, guys. Don't do it. Bad credit's coming up. They're warning you to avoid that. We have the Five of Cups next. So this is a card about looking at kind of the bad things instead of the good. They really want you to turn this around. They want you to look at the rewards you have instead of the struggles here in story 4 and the losses perhaps, or whatever is kind of troubling you emotionally here. And this could be a family type of deal too, or love related also. So really you just got to turn this thing around. You got to look behind you. They're saying you got so much good stuff going on, so many people that love you or whatever they're referring to, that you don't need to worry about this one problem, So anyway, we move on to the Six of Swords, which can be a card about travel. A lot of my Aries may be traveling here in story number 4 in the month of February. This is also a card about moving things in a smooth chapter, smooth direction, getting out of those rapids in the river and getting into the lazy river where you can just relax a little bit here. And we have Hello from Heaven. So this is one of your loved ones basically doing one of these. I have no indication of if it's male or female here. I know my other stories were very specific. This one was not. So this could very well be either way. Just a little check-in, a little nice hello from heaven. And of course, my Messages from Heaven is available as a personal product on scottsagent.com. If that is one of your loved ones that's peeping in and you want to kind of dig deeper into that, we can definitely do that for you. But that is a nice little thing to see. And, there was a time when that came in all the time. The veil was very thin, and it's been a while. Truthfully, it's been a few months since I've really seen that kind of propagate, and it's starting to come back again. So I think we're starting to get a very thin veil once again. So there we go with story number 4, guys. Going to grab your rune stone, and then we're going to do your yes or no. Hope you've thought of your yes or no, because time is almost up. We're almost there. And if you're thinking, oh, how's he able to do that? I'm asking he's recorded this before I asked my question. There's no way. Well, quantum allows it to be possible because time is an illusion and, spirit is outside of time, so they don't care about time. Therefore, they can answer as many as they can in context. But here is your runestone, guys. And of course, this goes with story number 3 perfectly because this is the runestone of strength. Strength. You have all the tools. Be courageous. So they want this to propagate through all of the stories, guys. They want my Aries to act out of strength and not out of weakness. So make sure in February specifically that you are doing such things. Okay, so if you feel a little shaky about something like, oh, I don't know if I should do this or not, probably best to not do it. Okay, if you feel strong about it, you're acting out of strength. If you feel like not so much, you're acting out of weakness, more than likely. So act out of strength, guys. That's a good way to wrap that up. Let's get into your yes or no. I am going to cut away to reshuffle because I used a lot of cards. And we're going to give Spirit the chance to use some of these cards again. So I'm going to cut away very fast as I shuffle. And then I'll be back with your yes or no. Okay, Aries, here we go. It is yes or no time. The cards have been reshuffled. Going to ritual cut it one final time. Here we go with your yes or no. I'm going to do yes on my left. I'm going to do no on my right. Keep in mind that this is available as a personal product as well. If you have a yes or no question and Spirit doesn't get to you today, it does not mean they're mad at you or picking on you. It just means that, a personal product will get it answered for you. They're doing the best they can for the sign. We do have a lot of Aries tuning in, so they do their best. That's all I can really say about that. I'm going to do one in between too. I usually don't do that. It kind of depends on what I got, and I have a lot of pip cards pretty much everywhere. I do need to check because I have inverts, a lot of inverts, if I need to do it by side or upright everybody. So let's kind of do this for everybody. They say no. So this side, yes. Okay, so that's what we want. This side gets uprighted. The other side stays the way it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to kind of do a yes. I'm going to go through the no, and then I'm going to talk about if your question maybe didn't get answered, a kind of why, what is in between here for some of you, what is kind of in the middle ground or getting in the way. Let's do the no first, actually. Usually I'll get my yes side that is much more chatty, but this is kind of an even distribution, and it's kind of throwing me off kilter a little bit here. So on the no side, if you're deciding between two things, your answer could very well be no. Okay, they really don't want you stressed out about it. So that is part of the reasoning too here. It might just not be a no directly. It may be a, hey, no, not right now. No, you don't need to decide this right now. No, you don't need to be stressed out about this right now. Okay, it really shows a fork in the road between two different choices, and that is answering on the no side. So keep that in mind. Looking through here, this is my main thing about money. If you asked about money, more than likely it's coming in on the no side, but it's a specific message too. It's my hoarder card. So it basically is saying not to be a hoarder. It's actually okay to open up some spending here, but keep in mind that is on the no side. So you got to kind of like tightrope walk around that depending on how you asked your question. It's going to be important because we have money coming in there, but they're basically saying it needs to be opened up, but it's on the no side. So it's kind of a mixed message there. Very interesting to see. It can also be about, maybe just to get away from saving so much. Maybe if you asked a question about that, they could be saying no or something in regards to that. It can be health related too, but I don't really see where much of the audience would be asking about that. But if that was the case, they'd be saying here to open up your health. That is speaking tarot language, so of course, nobody says open up your health, but you kind of get the idea of what they're trying to say perhaps here. Coming up on the no side, of course. The last thing that we talk about here, this could be love related. We actually have two kind of half love messages in here, and one of them on the no side is really talking about leaving something behind and that there's a hesitancy to do so, and that's coming up as a no. Okay, so leaving something behind, it shows that first of all you don't want to. So if you don't want to and you're not going to do it anyway, it's almost like why ask a question. But this is showing not just in this deck specifically, even if this was upright, this would be saying a huge hesitancy toward leaving something behind, having a hard time moving past it. Whatever it is, something attached to your heart more than likely. And when it's inverted in this deck, it means even harder time. It's really kind of like, well, you know what, you just decided you're not going to. You just decided you're not going to move past it, and this is just going to be part of you for some time, or at least for right now. Let's get into the yes side, guys. On the yes side, we have a bridge or a balancing act between two different areas of your life. So if you have asked about something that kind of bridges two areas of life, for example, work and home, work and family, work and love, financial in the home, health with finances, putting money into your health, something like that, where there's these two areas in your life that are doing a balancing act. This could be very well be coming up on the yes side. That's what they show. They actually show you guys do a very good job of this. So you can do it. You can balance these two things, whatever it is. I'm assuming it's something new that you're asking about doing. Now, should I go and start doing yoga classes or something like that? I don't know if I'm going to have enough time with the kids and stuff. Spirit is saying, you'd make it work. You do a good job of this. You do a good job of balancing. The next thing we have here is a love-related message, or again, heart attachment, because it's a cup, and cups are your emotional suit. We have a success coming up on the yes side. So if you ask something about success, or should I do something with love here, this would be saying yes, but keep in mind we had a no too, but kind of what you got to differentiate between is if it's about leaving something behind or if it's not. If it's about something that's successful or not, it's coming in on the yes side. If it's about leaving something, it's coming in on the no. Okay. The last thing we show here is a work message. Actually, we have work in the middle too, but this is a new chapter in your life. If you've asked about a brand new chapter in your life, even if it's not about work. I start with work because it's wands. Wands is the suit of entrepreneurship and work, and moving into a new chapter in your work life. But this could be broader. This could be just your life in general. And starting a new chapter, if you look at your life like a book, this would be starting a new chapter. Spirit saying yes. It's coming up on the yes side, especially if you're on some kind of new journey, new endeavor, something like that, doing something new with work, maybe starting a business, starting a new job, starting to look for a new job. All that stuff is coming up on the yes side. Now, the only card that I have here in the middle between the two sides, kind of that middle ground, that gray area, is it's my event card for work, and it's a card about celebratory things. So if you ask something about an event, maybe a wedding, a celebration, a work gathering, a work function, getting together with the family, reunions, any of this kind of stuff that would fall under event. Here they're saying it's really not yes or no. It's actually just the middle ground. And the middle ground is, it's I guess it's a maybe. It's not a yes, it's not a no, it's a maybe. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe not at all. So that, I guess, would be important for some people to know. If you have some kind of major event, especially a work event, that would be a huge pull right there, huge draw. But that is going to wrap us up, guys. And again, this yes or no, if we didn't get your question answered here, I know Spirit does their best to answer everybody, but if we don't get it answered here, we will get it done for you on scottsagent.com as the personal yes or no product. So that is the entire reading, guys, and I know it's been a long one. Thank you so much for sticking with me and tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings, and that is it for me. Have a great February.